Welcome to the Daily Edge. As always, I'm Marc Nudelberg, and it's a special episode because we got three of us in the room today. Jake Nudelberg bringing his boy Nick Wucher into the spotlight with us. We're going to talk about being a young entrepreneur. We're going to talk about the Knowles and how they suck, and we're just going to talk about building a brand and what it's like to run a business in today's world.
Let's find our edge.
Let's find our edge. That starts with our affirmation. I write my own story. I have a choice. I can be a pawn in the game, or I can run the game itself. It's up to me. Nick, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I was gonna say, do I set the scene? Should I set it?
Let's go.
I think Nick is one of my oldest friends, like, ever. I think if you go back, we were in elementary school together. I think you actually bullied me in fifth grade at one point, No, but it was we played football together. No, honestly, we've been friends forever. He was my first receiver. When I played quarterback, he was also the guy who was the tallest kid in 7th grade. I think we were pretty sure we were going to go Division I. And as you can see, we did not make it to the NFL, and we are now in the workplace. But
to start off.
No, man, listen. I just want to set the scene that we have known each other for a long time, and this conversation can go in a million different directions.
And so, the thing we normally ask entrepreneurs on the show is that, how'd you get started as an entrepreneur? But I know because I did my homework. I know you grew up with a divorced family. I know you grew up with a single mom who went to work and started her own business, and you watched her do that. My question to you is, do you think that made you an entrepreneur?
I think it definitely played a role in it, if not the main role with not even realizing it. But just witnessing her wake up every morning, 4 a.m., me walking in, she's telling me money doesn't sleep when I'm asking her why she's awake so early.
What did she?
Yeah, but that's also I give credit to my dad because he was a company man. He is a company man, but he always went out of his way to whatever the kids needed, pick up by the bootstraps. I'm going to get the job done.
I think he coached us too.
He did.
Yeah.
Coach well.
Yeah.
So because I'm always interested in this, I think that my dad being an entrepreneur opened up a pathway in my brain that said entrepreneurship is possible, right? And you told me in the pre-show as we were having a conversation, you knew when you got into the corporate world that you set an age limit on yourself saying, this is the jumping point, right? If you haven't gone by then, it's mandatory that you leave at that date, which I don't think people who have entrepreneurial parents or aren't exposed to entrepreneurs think that way. So you were a good football player, I guess, right? You played at Cypress Bay, whatever. You grew up in Broward County. Let's not give it more props than it needs. But you go to Florida State, go Knowles.
Go Knowles.
You were there for the Natty?
No, I was there
Worst years?
2 years after.
Worst years?
Brother. So it got bad for you.
It was really bad from the start. And then we had that undefeated season a couple years ago. And it was
You pull me back, and then you just crushed my hopes again.
false hope.
But so the concept of this business that you run now started there.
Yeah, so you want me to go into
Yeah,
so
talk about it.
we started the business in 2019, me and my roommate, Tony Marassa at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he would go around telling everyone, yo, it's fucking nice out.
Yo, it's fucking nice
It's
out.
fucking nice out.
But he would go around, yell that on Snapchat. And it started out as a joke. And then we were just you know what? Let's put this on a shirt. Yo, it's fucking nice out. Too long of a sentence. So YIFNO was born. Just sell 30 shirts, forget about it. COVID rolls around and the whole online thing boomed, online stores, everything, because you can go outside your house.
Right.
So we did 2 collections, sold out on all of them. I was all right, how am I going to bring this to Florida State when I come back? My buddy was opening a vintage shop, and he's like, hey, I have a section in the store for you. I was like, awesome. Told everyone. Drop day comes around. Store's supposed to open. He's like, we're not going to be able to open. He tells me 2 days before.
Oh.
All right, fuck it. I'm going to throw it on my balcony. So I created a whole shop on my balcony, and it legit looked like we were selling drugs out of my apartment. Kids were just coming in and out. Coming in and out and going to the pool party, which was across the street. And we did 3 of those. And then fast forward, move back to Fort Lauderdale, South Florida area. I'm like, all right, I need to figure out how to bring this into South Florida now. So we did pop-ups at bars. Bar called 27. My buddy Taylor Sharg owned it. But the deal was we had to throw FSU alumni watch parties. So I was like, all right, fine, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
The Knowles were decent.
Yeah.
Then we did a pop-up in New York. We were at the Belmont Stakes, me and a couple of my friends. I just looked at them randomly and I go, I'm going to throw a pop-up here in like 4 months. And they're like,
What?
You don't barely know anyone here.
Right.
What are you talking about? I was like, I don't know. I'm just going to figure it out. And that's where I figured out how to rent spaces. I basically just did everything myself. I shipped the product to myself, to my buddy's apartment. I went to Home Depot, got turf for the bottom of the store, went back and returned it. Same thing with Target with the clothing racks. I just figured it out.
Yeah, it's rentals. Rentals.
I didn't actually need it when I went back.
There's no clawback coming.
Oh man, like
Hopefully I can say that.
no, yeah, bro. I don't think a true entrepreneurial journey.
One thing I pride myself in is I'm resourceful. Like I will figure it out somehow.
Where'd
But
that come from?
Yeah,
We had enough growing up, but not having a lot growing up. We're just like, all right, I'm just gonna figure out how to work with it.
You used to, and we're honest on this podcast. I think you used to tell me that you lived in the poor side of Weston. Was when we were growing up.
Which is middle class.
Rich is like, it's like that was like an ongoing joke. But you were always like the go-getter. Like if there was one thing about you, and I will say this from watching afar, and we've kind of weirdly ran into each other a lot over the last few years. We've never been in the same town. We're like in the New York airport, we would run into each other. We were on the same flight. Like we've always kind of weirdly been connected, and it's weird that you do that. But like at no point, and we have another friend, Jake Londos. Like at no point do I look at you two and I go, "Oh my God, I can't believe that they're doing that." Like I can't and that's for me. And I know it probably comes naturally to you to do that. But watching a lot of people in our age group, especially our age group, where they're battling this older generation telling them, well, entrepreneurship is fun and cool and you can go do it. But then also the other side of the cushioness of corporate culture, you had a corporate job, you no longer really have a corporate job. What's your kind of stance on that?
I think it's the class saying it's not for everyone. Like, yeah, it sounds cool having your own business, but you need to have the mental fortitude to just keep taking L's. Because at the end of the day, it's a lot more L's, but you stack up small wins and they become bigger wins, hopefully. But none of it's guaranteed. Like when I started my job, like Mark was mentioning before, I gave myself an age cutoff. So I gave myself 28. The opportunity presented itself in January. I was 27 at the time, 28 now. But I was like, all right, I got to take it. It doesn't get better than this right now. So it's easy to get trapped in that corporate mindset. But at the end of the day, it's like I just said, it's not for everyone. Like some people are meant to be workers or want an easier life. But if you want a more difficult life, but it is extremely rewarding, then entrepreneurship is your move.
because it's the only way. Like you compare it to a game. And I think, this is the way I look at it, right? Like, I loved the game of football, right? And like, that's why I loved being a coach. And that's why I loved that profession. But being a coach is basically the corporate world. There's no entrepreneurial journey in football, right? You're not creating the new game. Some people like try to, but it doesn't work. And then if you're a coach, you're just moving up the corporate ladder, bro. Like, you start as an account executive, as a GA, and then you work your way up to a regional manager, which is like a position coach, and then you become a director of whatever, and that you're the coordinator, and then you become the head coach and you're the CEO. But it's the same style.
And I'll tell you, like the biggest, and even at football when I was coaching, when somebody finally gave me the autonomy to make a decision, I was scared shitless for that first time.
Right.
I was like, what do you mean I'm responsible for what goes wrong now? Right? They were like, no, you make the decision. Whatever comes of it, it's kind of on you. Right. And I was like, oh, wait, this is like every day now? And and I got to experience that in a small culture under one coach, and when, you start to grow a business and you have your brother in the business with you and you guys start to hire and scale and you're spending and you're throwing these, like, how do you deal with the uncertainty? Like you, like individually, where you say like, yeah, you got to keep taking L's. Like, how do you program your minds on a daily basis to have that mindset? Like, where did you learn it? Where do you cultivate it consistently?
I think it all stems back to football,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I like people ask me, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I just kind of, it's like the Nike saying,
Just do it. Just
I think
do
they
it.
have the best tagline ever.
Let me ask you this, right? Do you do anything physical? You work out, you have a workout routine?
Yeah, I work out 5 to 6 times a week.
Okay. So there's one, right? Like you know that if you want to be able to handle mental load, you got to be able to handle physical load. So you have a workout routine, check the box on that one.
Workout routine.
I know you consume content. Are you curating that content? Is it very specific stuff that you're looking to consume that feeds you, or is it very just like whatever shows up in my feed?
Throughout the day, definitely things that will inspire me or what's going on in the industry, but it's you got to switch your mindset when you're looking at content between being a consumer and like taking it in and actually putting it to the work.
Right.
Um,
Being a learner,
being a learner, yeah.
right? Like
We had this conversation today. I call it competitive consumption now, because as someone who works in marketing, I love this about marketing is nobody can hide. Like all the answers are there. Like you want to see the most successful law firms, whatever you're in, go look up what the most successful law firm is posting. Go look at what other and we had this conversation in the pre-show that doesn't. And I loved how you said it, where you were like, I have to pull myself back. And for my own company, because I see everything and I'm like, well, we'll just do everything. And I'm a totally a case study of that, where I see something and I'm like, squirrel, we got to do it now. And then I step back and I'm like, that doesn't really help us in this moment, you know? And so I asked you pre-call, but I do think it's really important. How do you decide what you implement in your own business when you're consuming, and what's your lens for that?
It's got to feel authentic. There's a good balance between like what's popular right now, what's trending, and then you put your own spin to it.
Mhm.
But also there's moments that you need to do something that's different that someone hasn't seen before, that's moving the needle in the industry or for your brand. Because if people are seeing the same thing over and over and over again, you're just going to get lost in translation. Especially the business we're in is so saturated. Clothing and just like entertainment in general is saturated as hell, especially now with social media. But again, social media is the best tool in the world to use right now.
Hey.
So
Can you say that again?
Yeah.
Like louder?
social media is the tool. Now it is, if you're not posting for whatever business you have, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Right.
Like, doesn't matter if you're a plumber, you run a sports team, or anything from like bottom to top.
A to Z.
Social media.
It's so funny, and I think what deters people is that they want instant gratification, right? In anything, right? Like, so, and I want, because you said it, you were like, be ready to take L's, right? And like, if you're going to be in entrepreneurship, be ready to take L's. I know that you've experienced a ton of L's. Give me the worst one. Like, you're on this entrepreneurial journey, you're doing drops. I know you said you had drops that like you didn't sell anything or went flat. You had the one that almost was a terrible L that you turned into a pop-up in your room. What's the worst L in your entrepreneurial journey so far?
I would say we had a collection. It went live. And I remember I was super excited for this collection too. This was about like 4 years ago. And we go live. This is before we even had an email list. We didn't know about email marketing. So we're kind of learning on the fly.
Right.
I'm like, all right, cool. This is going to be awesome. And I'm at USI. I go right after, edit the send button or go live button, and just crickets. And I'm sitting there, and we had put a couple thousand into the collection. I'm just sitting there like, all right, this is the first one. And obviously you get a little bit discouraged, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, fuck it. Literally,
Fuck it.
Yeah.
like,
Fuck it.
we're gonna figure it out. I have like just like an internal monologue with myself, like, stop being a bitch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
every time I get down, I'm like, you're good. Like, we'll figure it out. And then why not us?
Yeah.
That is a theme I'm leaning into all of 2026 because I had always leaned into it. It's an underdog mentality. And I would label myself an underdog my whole entire life. And I think the brain is at that now. Like people, I don't think would have thought that like YIFNO would be what
Still
it is
here.
today.
Right.
It stands for yo, it's fucking
Nice.
nice.
Yeah, bro.
It was a joke at first.
Yeah, bro.
And then what really like gets me going is the fact that that phrase and the name has like we just did a pop-up and we did a runway show on the sidewalk in New York.
You know, and when everybody look, I'm big on, and he'll tell you, like, I've consumed more content in the past year than I probably have ever done, based around the very similar things. And it's interesting, we're in a unique niche, you know, being coaches and trying to make our personalities and lifestyle and all of those ethos and all those things that are amazing. What's interesting about you and your name and what I want for On the Ball is there is a feeling attached. When you say, yo, it's fucking nice out, like everybody goes, yo, it's fucking nice out. Like there is this, like, no, like there is that thing where you go, like, cause somebody came up to me drunk the other night and they were like, yo, I want to get on the ball. And I was like, damn right.
Right, yeah,
damn fucking right you do, right? And you know, and like, that's where I look at it. And you know, when you think of like even sports teams and like we come from the sporting world and I think sports social media is one of the best case studies to look at because they have players, they have fans, they have clothing, like all of the different components that make it. All they're doing is creating a community and an identity behind a team using all of the same things that feed into this thing. And that's the one thing I love about you guys is you guys really are authentic. You know, like you posted your core values the other day, you know, and like that feels like you guys. And the reason you guys have, 16,000 followers now, right? Like you guys have never wavered on who you guys are, right? And the ones that I think, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but they have a drop that flops and they're immediately going, well, it's the product, it's you know, and or it's everything, and they get overwhelmed by the flop and they go, well, maybe it was the way that we didn't have email marketing, right? And it's
I want to get to that question so I want to get two questions before we close the show. One, how did you turn that biggest L into a win, or how did you move on from that?
It forced me to adapt. It's adapt or die. So at the end of the day, like I learned about email marketing. I'm still learning. Like I still teach myself. Every drop I learn something new.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, maybe we're overspending here and then I can be more resourceful with what I have here. Like, at the end of the day, I thought like you needed all these big productions, and I love doing the big production shoots and like the videos.
They're
just
fun.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun, bro.
It's intoxicating. It's intoxicating.
Yeah, and thinking about like being authentic to ourselves, the most fun I have is if I laugh at an idea. If I laugh at an idea, I'm like, oh, this can be awesome.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to when I was over consuming, I was like, oh, we got to take ourselves a little bit more seriously.
Right.
And then it didn't feel right.
Took you away from who your identity was.
Yeah. And then at the end of the day, all you need is an iPhone.
Yeah.
Literally all you need is an iPhone. iPhone is turned into an actual camera now. You can shoot and log. Like you can color grade an iPhone video. And it looks like it was shot. Like not to the level of that, but it gets the
but
point
close.
You would never guess.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's my second and final question then is, and we ask this to everybody who comes on the show, you talk about it, right? Like you wake up every day with a urge and a drive and how do you find that edge? What keeps that edge for you on a daily basis?
It's the same thing I said before. Like, why not us?
Yeah.
Why not me?
Why not us?
Like, why not?
Yeah.
Why not Daily Edge? Why not Mark? Why not Jake?
Listen,
because it's fucking nice out.
I do want to. One more question, because I do think that this is a unique chance of us to be young. You're an entrepreneur. Most entrepreneurs are older, I would say, you know, and there is this unique divide between this older regime that doesn't believe that it is mandatory to be on social media still, which is incredible. What would you say to that older generation that is still running businesses, that doesn't believe that they should be on social media? What's your preach? I know you said it's a no-brainer, but like in your best words, as someone who's seen the success of all the things, what would you say to those people?
Adapt or die.
And would you say that they are going to die if they don't?
Their business will. Unless they got someone in there that's going to rejuvenate it. That's a younger person that has the eyes.
So you would say that they need a younger person.
Yeah, did that strike a chord?
Yeah.
It's like a sales pitch.
It's like,
It's like,
thank you.
we use that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nick, bro, thank you for joining the show.
Thank you for having me.
Unbelievable conversation. If people want to consume, it's fucking nice out, where can they get it?
At YIFNO on all platforms, at YIFNO Wuch, at Jay Wuch, my little brother. And then we just brought Jake Londos on board, so he's part of the team now.
Groovers only.
Congrats,
Yeah,
let's
so-
go.
when's it
Team's
coming out?
growing.
This won't be till the new year, probably.
January.
Yeah.
So we have already thrown our Art Basel event. And
Yeah.
then we will be going into our next collection.
Let's
Okay,
go.
let's go.
Yeah.
All right, to take us home, look directly into that camera and say, let's find our edge.
Let's find our edge.
Let's go.